Hey guys, Pinky LPS here, and today I will tell you about my life. Hope you enjoy. So I was born April 4th, 2002, and since there's nothing really to do when it comes to my babyhood, except for that I ran into the corner wall when I was a baby and had to get stitches in my forehead. Yeah, so let's move on to when I was 4. So when I was 4, my mom was a single parent, and we lived in really crappy apartments. And the reason why she was a single parent was because my dad wasn't me when I was first born. So she tried her hardest to get me the perfect dad. It started with her friend Mickey. He was a really good dad, but they got in an argument and it didn't ended that well. After Mickey was a girl that my mom met named Jessica, and she lived in the apartments too. They became really good friends to figure out that Jessica was lesbian, and my mom wanted to try it out, so they went out for a couple of weeks, and it didn't work out that well for them. After we moved back from Charlotte, my mom dated another guy, and then they broke up because his daughter didn't like my mom, and then she ended up going out with another guy named Wes. It wasn't all that great because he was a psychopath, and the last time they went out, the last day they went out, they got in an argument because he saw the text messages that from her last boyfriend, and he got really mad. She texted him back saying, "We can talk over it, I'll explain everything." And then he came home freaking out on her and everything. She threw cold tea in his face, not throwing a cup at him or anything. And then she woke us up, and my cousin at the time was living with me, and she was freaking out and everything, crying, and I didn't know what to do, and my cousin's dad wasn't there at the time, because who knows where he was. And well, we left, and we lived with my mom's mom. So before Wes, and after the guy, tween, she went out with her friend named John. And let's just say that it went good for a while, and then they broke up and everything. And then they started going out again. Well, they weren't really going out. It was kind of a thing, like they were still going out at the time, and then they broke up, and then she moved in back with John. And we were living there for a couple of days. Me and my mom shared a room. And John was going out with this really nice girl, which she had a son. And let's just say sometimes he really drives me nuts. But he was a really good friend, and I actually met a really good friend there named Kayla. And me and her had a really good friendship and everything. And then a couple of days later, she met someone else. So when my mom met Ricky, it was really nice. Ricky had a son and a daughter, and the son was the oldest, and they were Crystal and Johnny, and Johnny had a son, and Crystal had a daughter, so which made me an aunt. Yay! And then I met the rest of the family, which one of them are now my best friend. After that came the worst day of my life when my mom and Ricky were on the motorcycle and they got in a motorcycle accident. And we knew for sure that Ricky died, and at the time we were waiting for the results from my mom to see if she passed away or not. We all knew that she was hurt pretty badly. And then a day after that, I came to my grandma's house to be told that my mom passed away, and I had a choice to live with my cousin or my grandma, and I chose my grandma, which was the wrongest choice of my life. So in 5th grade, I went to Vandora Springs, and I met some really good friends there. which was my best friend, was a girl named Sarah. My friend Faith. And then came in for 6th grade my friend Alexa, which also was a lot more, including Kiani, Carlos, Angel, a lot more. And we had a big freak circle that spun around a lot. So in 6th grade, that's when my grandma started hurting my feelings a lot, because she started with the weight, saying that I was chunky and everything, which hurt my feelings a lot. And then it went to me being a freak, which caused us to have a lot of arguments, because I yelled back at her, and then her boyfriend would yell at her being on my side, and she didn't like the point that his daughter was living with us so much, because she thought that she should have her own house by now. And honestly, Selena was the only one that was in that house that was really there for me. So after all that pressure that I tried to take in, I started cutting myself. And it didn't really go that well, because my friend Sarah figured out, and she just had to help me and everything, and she said, you can do this and everything. And then and all my friends didn't realize how bad my grandma was to me until they heard what she had said to me, and how much she has made me cry, and I had suicidal thoughts, paranoia. Thank you.
Problem, stranger in the back.
So yeah, that went on for a while, and then that day when I went over to Sarah's house, she introduced me to creepypasta videos, which was the biggest change in my life. And then I ended up becoming addicted. I listened to a lot of them, and then to figure out that I just went on a psycho rampage. And I just thought it was the most beautiful thing ever. You know, that little snap that you have in your life where you can't take in anger anymore and you just want to kill the person that was hurting you all that time. Yeah, I'm going through that process right now. Not actually killing her, I mean the process inside my head going insane. But anyways, moving on. After that, I fell in love with creepypasta, and I watched a lot of videos, and it was like the most beautiful thing in my life. And then I started learning more about creepypasta and everything, and yes. And a lot more stuff, and all that, like, more anime shows, all that. Moving on. So a couple days later, my uncle breaks up with his girlfriend, as they kept on breaking up and going back to each other. Well, he called back to her. She got annoyed. But, yes. And then after those couple days, they got their own apartment. And he's still hanging out with her. You know, she probably just like, whatever. But, and they were sharing their dog at the time. And then, yeah.
I was put in the middle of all of it.
Yeah, she was put in the middle of all of it. Tammy was trying to protect her and everything, and her dad was just a drunken fool. That all he did was come home at, like, 1 in the morning when I was there. And I'd be cosplaying and everything. He'd call, and he'd think that it was weird and everything, and force me to take off my wig. And then a couple days later, I'm in 7th grade, and she's here because her dad keeps on going on business trips. And on her 5th grade graduation, he wasn't even there. and now a lot of crap is going on. And yeah, and then that's when I started making these videos. So yeah, that was my video on my life. Sorry it was so sad and everything, but life sucks. What are you gonna say? And yeah, so that was a wrap. And just remember, you all are beautiful.